Castaic was a truck stop. So our apartment was right behind the truck stop. And so every once in a while, every morning, we'd hear the good old trucker number 3, the shower number 4 is open and ready for you. So I got to wake up to that every morning. So that was amazing. But yeah, as I mentioned, it just started off Castaic just as a truck stop, and just kind of grew from there. It was right on the 105 freeway, which, interesting enough, the San Andreas Fault is right along the 105 in Castaic. So every day we drove across this San Andreas Fault. Castaic, there's a penitentiary out there. It's very like wide open. It's kind of like little pockets of houses. On the southwest side, there's a place called Valverde, and that was very, very eclectic. Poor, run down, just kind of like this little valley out in the middle of nowhere. People go out. That was like a place that you would go out of the city, and kind of like the cash spot, I guess, back in the day. Kind of place to get out, be able to go, and that was where people would go. And it kind of grew, and more people were out there. But it was amazing. And that was kind of where like the poor people would live. Super amazing people. Further back, you would go. You just take a long road out there, kind of like northwest more. And the road was Hazlitt Canyon, and that's where like all the ranch houses were. So these super expensive, just ranch houses with horses and more of just secluded area, more spread out. Taylor Lautner from Twilight, he had a house out there. Fun fact, cool. Never got to meet him, gated, heavily secure, but he lived back there, which is cool. And so Castaic was very spread out, just like pockets of neighborhood, but very like spread out from each other. Fun facts, mountain biking was a huge thing out there, and I heard from people that had like some of the best mountain biking around in California up there. So that's where people would go to do that. It was outside, so that was the top of the Santa Clarita Valley. And so you're 30 minutes more out from the valley, 30 minutes more travel, commute time to LA. So Castaic is basically 30 minutes from everything, 30 minutes from the beach to the west, 30 more minutes up to Palmdale in the north, 30 minutes down to LA. So I'm just kind of in that in-between spot. I didn't train my whole mission until like the last part. So I was there in Castaic for, I think, like 3 transfers. Trained for the first 2, and then was in a trio for that last transfer. So I was sleeping on an air mattress for like the last little bit of my mission, which was fun. It was just interesting. And coming down like to the end of the mission, like it was definitely tough. It's harder area. Companions, we all got along pretty well, but it's just different, like being in a trio. That's kind of hard, working it out, but we can make it work. But the ward members, I would say, is what made it. Definitely like in the Santa Clarita Valley. The members are very strong there. The wards are a lot bigger in the Santa Clarita Valley. My ward that I was in on record had like 600 people. In the valley, there were smaller wards, like 70 to like 90 people. And so that would kind of vary throughout the mission, kind of the size of the wards. But usually in the San Fernando Valley, the wards were a lot smaller. And Santa Clarita Valley, a lot bigger. I mean, I loved it. Loved every second of it. I feel like that's ward members and making those relationships. I feel like missionary work was super successful in that aspect. And that's definitely what made, I think, my last area. It's just getting so close with the people, not only the people that you teach and that you're serving and working with, but the ward members, and really getting into their lives and helping them. And I know that's where missionary work is the best, when members are the ones that are reaching out and bringing others into the church and living and being that example of the gospel. And that was really cool to be able to see, and to be able to see how wards function. Some wards functioned well, some wards didn't, but that was a cool aspect, I think, of the mission, because each ward was so unique and so different, especially just in populations. The Van Nuys ward had a huge Filipino population, and so that was really cool to see, and just learning how the church worked, I think.